Thanks for stopping by my channel. Today's video, we are going to be taking a look at this brand new set of watercolor pencils that Arrtx came out with. I just noticed them up on Amazon a few weeks ago. I did post them over on my community tab. I was planning on picking these up myself, but luckily for me, Arrtx reached out to me and asked if I would like to try them out. And I said, of course, you know, I'm always up for trying new pencils. Watercolor pencils are not my strong suit. I'll put that out there as a disclaimer for this video. Within the last few years, I've been adult coloring. I haven't tried that many, so I was never really that confident in using them. But I watched a few videos in anticipation for this set coming in SNL. They're sending me this to review, so I better figure it out. I think one that I watched was something like 7 mistakes beginners make when using watercolor pencils. And 2 of them really stood out to me was using too much water and putting too much pressure. I was like, that's definitely something that I had been doing whenever I tried to use watercolor pencils. What were the other 5? I don't totally remember, but if I find the video, I'll try and put a card in for it because I thought it was a really helpful video for me, at least. I'll try and share it with you guys too. I already swatched these out, as you can see. I swatched these out on this Painter's Diary travel palette. This is 100% cotton watercolor paper. And I did try them out on this book from Emmanuel Collins. This is one of the Coleridge Wild books. It is a thick cardstock. It's 250 GSMs. So I thought this would be a good one to try out. The pencils are they are watercolor, so they are meant for really watercolor paper. I know a lot of us like to try and use them in our coloring books, but you really do have to use them to get the best out of them by using them on actual watercolor paper or like a thicker BB multimedia paper. You can, of course, try and use these in your coloring books, but just know that you're not going to get the most out of them. Would probably have to put some sort of coating down, like maybe gesso or something like that. So I will be putting timestamps down below for you guys if you want to skip around to a specific area. We're going to segue right into the unboxing and the swatching. I did do a little pre-record of some of the claims from the copy in the ad on Amazon. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about these pencils and I'll give you my opinion. Immerse yourself in a world of 72 rich and vibrant colors, providing an expansive palette for your artistic expression. From soft pastels to deep, intense hues, this set offers endless inspiration. Designed with ergonomic hexagonal basswood barrels, these pencils provide a comfortable grip for extended use. The sleek portable packaging makes it easy to take your art supplies on the go, ensuring inspiration is never out of reach. Elevate your art by experimenting with the included nylon brush to add watercolor effects and seamlessly blend colors, allowing for a whole new dimension of creativity. Bring your artwork to life with stunning dynamic effects. Smooth and reliable, each pencil boasts a 3.8mm break-resistant lead, ensuring consistent, smooth coverage and effortless blending. Whether you're creating fine details or broad strokes, these pencils deliver professional-grade results. closer look at these swatches. I did try my best to do approximately the same amount of water for each swatch. I was trying to be a little bit conservative with my water distribution. I just didn't want them to bleed over into the next swatch box. Some of them do look like they might need a little bit more water added to dissolve totally completely, but I thought for the most part they broke down really nicely and clear, nice and clean. There are a few lighter shades here, like this beige, light cyan, that aren't gonna be that much of a showstopper, but it's because they're lighter pigments. I do appreciate when a set will have a nice balance of both, and I think they delivered on that. So I am happy with the color range. They don't have any color names on the barrels. Let's take a look. I did leave this white one unsharpened just so you can see what they look like when you get them in the box. I decided to save that one because I figured white wasn't going to show up on this white on white, so I didn't bother to swatch that one. But I really think the lighter colors, if you'd like to draw or color on black paper, the white ones I think will be nice for darker papers. So let's take a look at the barrel itself. It just says made in China and Arrtx on one side, and on the other side there's a barcode with their style number and the paintbrush sign to indicate that it's a watercolor pencil, and it has their number. This one is AW001. They did provide us with this thick swatch sheet, which obviously I didn't use it. I wanted to try them out on actual watercolor paper, but they do have color names on the swatch chart. I have noticed they do that a lot with their markers. I have some of their alcohol markers, and whenever they have a swatch chart, they'll have the names on the swatch chart, but not on the barrels. I would have preferred if they would have put the names on the barrels. I know some people don't care about color names, but I do. So at least I have some color names to associate with the colors. Now let's move on to the box. The box, I think, is a really pretty box. I think the presentation of the box is really nice. They always are known for good box designs. I think the intention is to be convenient and like be able to travel with them, but it's just not something practical for someone like me who would want to be able to have some sort of order to my pencils and be able to grab them quickly without having to say fiddle around and look for the color that I'm looking for, especially since they don't have color names on them. So you'll see here I just found some, because I didn't have an extra case at the moment. So in order for me to organize these and swatch them out, I put them into some of these plastic trays. All right, so now let's move on to what I actually thought of the performance of these pencils. I really did enjoy using these pencils. I thought they layered really beautifully. They blended beautifully. Like I said, I haven't really used that many watercolor pencils. They weren't that super intense, but I like that about them. I think that is one of the things I felt in the past when I'm using like a budget set of pencils, like they would feel chalky or too much color coming out at once. I'm not going to name any names, but I felt like the laydown would be like really unpleasant and chalky. These were nice and smooth. They were a little bit crumbly, but it's because they're watercolor pencils. Most watercolor pencils are going to be a little bit crumbly because they have to be soft in order to break down when the water hits them. So I liked that they weren't so intensely pigment packed that I couldn't then go over and layer them. I thought they were just pigmented enough. A little bit more, I would say, they seem like a little bit more like for a grown-up, a more mature adult coloring audience. I would definitely recommend these to a newbie for sure, a beginner with watercolor pencils. This was actually the first time I really enjoyed using a watercolor pencil. And I definitely do look forward to using them more often. Now that I think I kind of got the hang of them a little bit better than I did before. getting the right brush is really important too. This brush was really nice. I really enjoyed using the brush. It wasn't like super firm. It was flexible enough when you needed to get, when you wanted to kind of spread the pigments around, but then it also kept its point nicely if you wanted to get into smaller spaces, like her eyes, for example, or her lips. So we're gonna go out on some time-lapse speed coloring, watercoloring that I did on her skin and a little bit of her hair. I filmed. So you guys can kind of see these in action and you can decide whether these are right for you. And if you have any questions for me, you can, of course, leave them down below. These are currently on sale. There's a 20% off coupon. They're $32.99 with a 20% off, at least at the time I'm making this video. So the price I think is very comparable to other budget pencils on the market right now. And I think, to me, these perform better than those. A few of the more budget sets that I've tried in the past. That's my opinion anyway. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. Have you tried these yet? Are you thinking of trying these? Let me know down below. And I hope you guys all have a really great rest of your day. Happy coloring, and I'll see you next time.